Hello and welcome to the Podcast Cafe. This is Future Skills with Mkhwanazi. You are listening to our feature, The Industry 4.0, looking at the digital impact in the different industries that we have and the workforce and skills required for the jobs of the future. I had the pleasure of having a Zoom online conversation with the CEO of the Wholesale and Retail SETA CEO, Mr. Tom Mkhwanazi. Take a listen.
Thank you guys so much for making the time. Good morning, Mr. Mkhwanazi. Honorable sir, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good as well.
Next year is our 30th democracy. So we've spent a lot of time this year picking out all the good things that have been happening in various departments, and your department being one of them.
That's great.
And we'll kick off to my first question. What is your journey within skills development, and what brings you to the retail and the wholesale SETA?
My first job, I'm a trained teacher and educator. So I've been working for over 33 years in the public service in general, but I've spent 6 years in one of the SETAs, different positions in the manufacturing sector SETA for about 6 years, and I was also a chair of the food-based SETA at one point, and I'm now running this organization for, it's almost going to be my 5th year in January next year. So I've been in the space of the skills development for quite some time. So, and my view is that the organization is in good hands in terms of the skills and the experience that I'm bringing in the organization. So I'll focus on those particular areas rather than sharing with you other areas that I've spent time at. But I've been there, I've been a lecturer, I've been a teacher, I've worked in local government, I've worked in collective bargaining. But I think from a skills development point of view, probably that's where I'll spend most of my time.
Wonderful. Looking at retail and wholesales, could you maybe just unpack what type of skills you can go as far as you like? Because most of us would not know, for the audience that are listening, in terms of how broad is the skills range within the retail and wholesale sector in South Africa.
The travesty that we have is that young people don't necessarily think that it's a sector where they can really get opportunities, because I think we probably have not been doing very well in taking young people and ensuring that they get into the sector and they look at this sector as a career of choice. So there's really it starts from a cashier to a store manager, to a person packing, to merchandising, to planning, and to buying, to supply chain, to logistics, to marketing. I mean, the list is endless. In mind, get to sit here with you. We can spend the whole day, and the whole day in retail operation program. You can take a person from receiving the stock, accounting the stock, ensuring that the stock sits in the shelves, and ensuring that the stock that is required, it is always constantly there, and ensuring that your shop is managed properly, finance, paid out, HR. So even in areas where we do not think that wholesale and retail space blade, it will be an architect in particular, because there is space planning. To plan your space properly, so that when people come, where do they check the streets, where do you find certain things in the organizations. You can go into food processing in a way, confectioner, bake, and in that particular space, there's baking, there's confectioner, there's butcher, there is liquor, hardware. So if you go into one of the hardware store, and you need a person to have the skills to understand plumbing and electricity and tiling, you name it. So could be stacking tires, everything that is being sold. I'm just trying to share with you the opportunities that are there and in the sector. So you could like cars and wanting to got into the retail. There would be an opportunity. You could be good in hardware space. It could be good in building, because it could be fashion, and as you are indicating, and then you're doing your designing and your stuff that needs to be sold. You could be in farming and it to start your produce and something, and then again it goes into retail. So those are the skills that are really required, and in the sector of people that can market their stuff, they can sell their stuff, they can manage customers, they can manage their finances, they can market their stuff. Today we are now talking about e-commerce. Young people today are selling their stuff online, and those skills are really required. So a lot of skills that we need in the segment.
You have just broadened my whole perspective around wholesale and retail. I think we tend to forget that everything needs a property where it can be sold. Every product needs a certain shop or a space where it can be sold. And this is now where we see there's a lot of value chain within retail and wholesale. Why do you think, what is it that has got such a misconception around young people? You correctly say so, because I know myself, we do not speak around retail and wholesale as the kind of space that can absorb our various skills. However, the way you've mentioned it, that value chain is one that I can think of a lot of young people, if they looked at the sector in that way, they would find answers within there for them to go trade their skills.
I think 5 years ago, within the sector, we sat around the table and we said we really needed to have an integrated career guidance program within the sector, because when you get into a shop, the only thing that you see it's the cashier, and it's people doing probably a little bit of merchandise, but there's a back end to that. You need to order the stuff somewhere. You need to buy stuff somewhere. You need to start off the stuff stays, and kept in the warehouse. There's a way of how you order that stuff coming into the. It's just because of the way that our retail look, and it doesn't look like there's greater opportunities that we have. And just to give you an example, the sector, just the formal sector, and in this environment, employs over 3.2 million people in South Africa.
Wow.
Yes. So you can imagine the contribution that is making. I'm not talking here about the informal sector. Those lovers that are standing on this new metal, and those powder shops out there that are creating convenience for our communities, for a person to just go and buy, the small stuff that they require. And so the issues that we've not been going out and showing young people those opportunities. And that is why, as a SETA, we've then said, now we will want to come up with an integrated career guidance that don't just give young people papers and telling them about what is available. We want the young people to almost go and experience what a retail is all about. However, the industry is quite a challenge, right? Because when you open a store at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock on a Saturday morning, you need bread, isn't it? Someone should have baked that bread. So it was ready. So it means then the sector, the way that the sector works, we need to then make sure that young people look at it, if I have to use the word, and show it to them in a sexy kind of an environment for young people, so that they can then see the opportunities that are available for them. Because if we do not do that, the sector will really not have enough people while it has got great opportunities to create employment for them.
I would like to speak about, you mentioned something about an integrated plan to absorb young people or those that are skilled, to create that sort of awareness or to put them in the space. How do you aim to do that? Do you have some examples maybe, or is it something that is already happening?
So currently we've already finalized our strategy, and our strategy is quite a broad strategy, and it's quite integrated. So in one end, we're looking at using technology so that the young people can get in and can play around with this technology, and then they can realize sort of opportunities that are there, and the pathways that are available, career pathways in the wholesale and retail sector. And the next stage of our taking of this career platform that we are putting in place is gaming. So we want young people to go there and play games and interesting and see a reality, for the young people, so that they can go in there and see it for themselves. So when we go into career guidance spaces, we don't just talk. They can actually see that in visual reality. The other area where we play, we focus on is partnering with the sector. And getting young people to eventually go and experience what retail is all about. So we've got one program, for example, with one of the retailers, because we offer bursaries. The retailer is now taking the young people during holidays, during their university time, and to go and experience various divisions and aspects of the retail sector, so that they can develop the love, the unions, and decide and what area of retail do they like. So that's one pilot projects that we have done. So, but we're partnering with various institutions, universities, Tibet colleges, youth organizations, to ensure that going out there and young people realize this opportunity. We've got an MOU also with the Department of Basic Education, where we've got a lot of programs that we've done over the period of 3 years. We've also trained 25 young people within the organization. Career guidance is a career on its own. The majority of organizations don't take it seriously, and they do not know how to interact with young people in terms of showing them a way in terms of how they can then decide on the careers. And also in this career guidance plus platform that we have, we want to create a database so young people can put in their information, and then the plan is that the employers can then go in there to recruit young people, seeing their interest. So as they put in information or themselves, they can say, oh, this person is very good in marketing, then they'll identify a person. This person is good at planning, organizing. Okay, so we will then take. So that's what we are trying to do, so that we can create something that is really integrated, because we invest a lot of money on trading, but we hadn't had a database where our employers can then go in and then recruit them.
What are some of the impacts that we are expecting or that we are seeing within the retail sector and the wholesale sector because of digital and technology?
I see, because brick and mortar will still remain, and people will still go into the shops, but it go to work together with them with digitization, where people buy online, where there's digital marketing that is taking place, where there's e-commerce and omni-channel and all these areas. So we see both emerging, although South African retailers are not really adopting technology as fast as we expect them to adopting. But But we're seeing that organizations like Amazon are coming through into the country where also our small retailers can therefore sell their stuff through these bigger platforms that are available, like Amazon and Takeout and the ones that we have currently in South Africa. So that's where we're going to see. So therefore, it is important that we then raise people that are in the industry, because they need to then now move with the times, because the view is that technology would introduce jobs, but in our experience as we travel outside South Africa, we're finding that it creates more opportunities. The only thing that you need to do is just start upskilling and multi-skilling and reskilling the employees that are there in the industry, so that they can then start shifting the way that they've been doing things and doing work where they are, because there are certain things like automated cashier. I'm not sure whether we would get here. I mean, in the US and also in some of the European countries, you can go into a shop, because you pick up the stuff with your card and whatever else, you go out and you go outside. So we already seeing retailers like that outside South Africa. But another focus shift that we need to start looking at is, how do we then upskill those that are in informal training to also use technology?
Very good point.
We already started. We've got some programs already. For example, in KwaZulu-Natal, where working with the Department of Economic Development, when our sponsor shops, the department is giving them gadgets to order. To order their stuff. And it also tells them about their stock. What it does is that it creates the whole bulk buying system within the sector, so that we can deal with that competition that we're seeing happening in this country that I'm not going to mention, because we have to build our own people to go back into the old other shop system.
Digital is going to aid or assist our spaza shop culture, which is authentically South African entrepreneurship. Do we expect now that with technology, we might get our people being more confident again to open their spazas and to go to market?
Yes, we're doing a number of programs to actually upskill them. I mean, in the last 3 years, we've upskilled over 7,800 informal traders in South Africa, and we're continuing. We are also partnering with other organizations like SETA, so that we can then ensure that we really upskill our informal traders, that they can grow their business. We just had a program which is still taking place for 116 informal traders that we've taken them to Kenya, to ZTech, in collaboration with ZTech University, where we've immersed them into the Kenya Nairobi informal trading system. And we would know that Kenya is way ahead in terms of technology and within the formal and informal sector environment. So we took them there, and then we're busy now with the mentorship and coaching, and I think the program is finalizing in February next year. So those are the areas that we're looking at, and ensuring that we upskill this. Already we're seeing huge change in this 112 informal traders, and it was the first of its kind that we did. And we would like to do more of these programs, so that we can take these informal traders. I mean, one of the informal traders that was at the program had given away her shop and giving it away to someone else to run it. One of the commitments that they made was that they now going to start the process to bring back their own as a shop and continue with it, because it's important. But there's a whole range of other things that they've learned in the process. We took them through how the Kenyan guys do. They are up at 5 o'clock in the morning. So, and one of the Spanish shop guys was saying from now on, when the guys come in and to buy the stuff, I'll be there. They don't have to wait for me.
You know, I know a bit about Kenya in terms of their advancement. An example would be M-Pesa, the mobile money. What is it that you can maybe, just a little bit that you can tell me that says, you know, this is what the Kenyans are doing well that we can learn from as well?
Firstly, is the work ethic. Their work ethic is too different. Two, it's their coexistence with those that are not coming from their countries in terms of working together. So they find a way of coexisting. Thirdly, is the government approach towards informal traders. So they don't look at informal traders as irritant. They look at informal traders and the contributor to the economy. Okay, so as a result, they create a space for them to actually operate legally. Okay? But obviously, they are not for us. No, everything is not going to look beautiful. It's not going to look like satin. But I think there's an opportunity there. So, and I think the fifth issue is the fact that the informal traders, they are organized. When they are organizing themselves in working with government and ensuring that they find the way of working, and rather than having a haphazard way of doing their business. And I think that then the last issue is how the government is not handing out. It's not a hand-down kind of thing for themselves. So that's what they call the Hafla Fund, which is a government fund. And remember, the current president he calls himself a Hafla himself. So they've created that kind of an enabling environment for informal traders to be able to thrive because they contribute immensely in the economy of the country, including creating an environment for digital innovation for informal traders to trade. I mean, that investor that you're talking about, you go into a taxi, investor. You go into an informal trader, they use investor. So we need to then start with South Africa from our side, from where we are, those that are in the government space, enabling informal traders, but they also need to play their part.
Where are we currently with the absorption of digital skills in the workspace? What type of requirements when it comes to digital skills do you see within the wholesale and retail sector?
There is a huge need. We going into a space where people don't really need to be carrying cash often. So again, in that particular space, there's a need for us to really ensure that to create that kind of an environment where we deal with cashless environment and that's the second thing. And I think the second issue is about technology that is required within the organization in order for the organization to be able to be efficient in terms of running their own businesses. I think that that area is the issue of AI, where what we do with the information that we receive. Now I'm talking about big retailers, and I think retailers are already there in terms of AI, in terms of looking at the information, in terms of analyzing that information, and ensuring that they really ensure that they look after their customers, because they can then tell about behaviors of Tom Mkhwanazi, for example. What does Tom Mkhwanazi buy? In a particular area, what is what do people buy in that particular area? And that helps making businesses efficient and obviously do and ensure that they enhance their business and provide customer service. And the also information in terms of planning and moving forward, in terms of how I'm going to plan for myself good moving forward. So it means they're going to then need certain skills, those that analyze information, or data analysts, and we're going to need people that are in data engineering. We're going to need people in digital marketing, and we're going to need people that are going to work in the e-commerce space. So there's just going to be a range of skills that are going to be required. And as I've indicated to you, while at the level of access with the young people, we must ensure that those skills are being given to young people and we train them in that particular area. In the area of people that are already in the employ of companies, we need to reskill, we need to multi-skill, we need to upskill them and to ensure that they are not left behind and we all go together.
Wonderful. And with that said, are there programs for audience who are listening? Because I'm also thinking your SETA is very big and it crosses industries. Or how can SETA maybe disperse information to say, guys, once you've got these digital skills, these are the ways that you can be absorbed by the market?
That is why we launching this career guidance platform in next year and the beginning of the year. And one of the things that we want to do is for our retailers to also come into our use our career guidance to share opportunities that they have in the sector, because it can't be just about us doing training or putting money for training. This platform, as we've indicated, is an integrated platform. It's for giving young people an opportunity to be employed or start their own businesses, but it's also an opportunity for the employers to go into the platform and say, we're looking for so and so and so and so, and then there are other opportunities for them to then advertise their opportunities that they have in the sector, because young people, we want them constantly interacting with this. Our mandate is skills development, to facilitate skills development, but we do not want just to end there. There must be an impact on it, because what is the end game? The end game is that young people must be employed or they must start their own businesses now. So that is why we've then thought about this career guidance platform. But I think it's more than that.
It's going to become one of those huge databases where companies can go in and those that have upskilled themselves can also go in. My second last is electronic vehicles. It is the new buzzword now. The lithium batteries, the infrastructure for electronic vehicles. I'm thinking also there's going to be retail is involved in that. Somebody has to have a shop where they sell this infrastructure. What type of infrastructure are we talking about when we say infrastructure for electronic vehicles? What type of shops or what are shops going to be selling? And what type of skills are going to be needed there as well?
Even in that particular space, already we need to know what. We need to know, for example, whether people understand those particular skills in terms of how lithium batteries work. If you are retailers, for example, need to rethink how they present themselves, that it's not just going to focus on fossil fuel. They then have to probably have got stations for electric cars in those particular spaces. But it will also mean retailers rethinking their spaces where they are in malls in terms of when people are coming to buy, they need any charge in their cars. I've already seen it. I was just up here in the car lot, and I think Audi has already have a station where you can charge your car while you are there. So that's what is going to be needed. The issue, the skilling here that is required is probably not necessarily sometimes in the retail space, but it would be a skill that is required in understanding and the workings behind the lithium batteries and the electricity issue. However, those skills will be required in the sector. So that is why I've been constantly saying to you, the sector is constantly moving with the time and we shift. In fact, I'm sure we can't even keep up in terms of the skills that we need in the sector. So, we've got all range of skills that we're just seeing that are coming through that are required from a technical technological point of view. So yeah, so there's a lot. Yeah,
wonderful stuff. I will keep an eye on that. My last question to you, Mr. Mkhwanazi. Next year we are celebrating 30 years of South Africa's democracy. What are some of your memories when you look at South Africa today, 30 years later? What can you say about how far this country has come, and what some of the things that you remember that have changed drastically?
Besides the challenges that we have in the country, I think a lot has changed. I think there's been a growth in South Africa in terms of people in the middle class. I think our role is transformation. We now seeing a lot of people from historically disadvantaged environment holding higher positions in the retail space, which never used to be the case. In this country, we're seeing some innovations in terms of how, although in the retail space, I think Black people really played a huge role even during the apartheid times. But we saw some of those guys that were in the retail changing the ways that they've been doing things in the retail. I mean, the Mkhwanazi of this world owning a mall. Those are things that we see that changing. There's a company called Akani. I saw them opening a mall in somewhere in Zeerust, in the northwest. Yeah. So what we're seeing is there's a lot of our people participating in the economy and creating some inclusion that some of us didn't see before because of the barriers that existed previously as a country. And I think with all the challenges that we have, I'm seeing a lot of Black people playing a role in solar systems. They might not necessarily manufacturing them, but putting them in houses and selling them. So there's been really great opportunities that have come through in this country. And I think what we need to do is to focus on them and saying, these are the opportunities how can we then build on them so that we can then create, but in a very inclusive way. And our programs are promoting inclusion through our international leadership development program that we have, where we train senior managers to be in position or starting their own businesses. And so we've got a lot of stories that we can share with you. Just on people that over 400 guys that we've put them in the ILDP that are now owning their own businesses, and those businesses are climbing on their own. But I think the other important area that we need to just focus on young people, not all of them wanting to go and study in universities. All economies in the world have been built by people that have studied at colleges, not by people that have gone to university. We're not saying universities are not important, but we're saying that young people should look at that opportunity because that's how we're going to build this economy. And we would like young people to really not take TVET colleges as an inferior institution. In fact, those are institutions where we can then start building our economies, and we support them a lot. As the SETA, so we've had a number of partnerships with various TVET colleges because we want them to be training providers of choice.
Wow, just a little bit on that before I do let you go. Why is that the case? Even when I was in high school and I went to a university, it was always it's a better looked at institution of learning. But today you find that most of us are running back to TVET or private institutions for that extra upskilling that we do not have. Why do you think there's this blind side towards TVET colleges that exists amongst young people?
I think it's us parents and that think that universities create employment and skills, and universities do are important for knowledge production the knowledge. That's important. And however, Tibet colleges are there for skilling and to ensure that people are skilled, because when I'm talking about skilling a person that can be able or out there be able to do the work, there is a misconception that the university will skill you. I can tell you that for free. When I started working after I university graduate, I had to do the work, and the university did not teach me how to do the work. I had to learn it in the job. So and there's this whole thing, and I think it comes from our history of where we come from, and we need to change that mindset. And that a plumber, when they come here to my house, I probably pay 600 rand for a cone out. Okay, and over and above that, I'll pay for that, for a tab, and for this and that. But if I go to a doctor, I'll probably pay about 250, 300 to 500, for consultation. And people don't say these things, and I think we're not spending time as a country studying Tibet colleges and making them attractive to young people.
Yeah, Mr. Mkhwanazi, we can take the whole day. Thank you so much for your time. I wish you all the best in everything that you're doing, and thank you so much for enlightening me myself as well.
Thank you so much, guys.
That's for part of the